the market is up today. Nvidia rose a lot, nearly 5%, and AMD, let me check AMD. AMD rose 14% today, but is hugely overvalued. So the stock market is up today. The SP 500 is up today. As you can see, is everything basically is up in the top 10 of the SP 500. And a mention is Qualcomm, Robinhood, and Supermicro. So if we have a look to Qualcomm, today Qualcomm rose 10%, and both Qualcomm, Robinhood, and Supermicro next week they will have earnings, and they usually drop during the earnings. So this is Qualcomm, and the price crossed the upper Bollinger Bands, is still below the SMA 200, so it's still a good stock to buy, but it will have earnings next week, like I said, so I prefer to sell it today. And the RSI is overbought. Yeah, everything is basically, I will sell it today. And then after the earnings, if it will drop, I will buy it again. If we have a look, Qualcomm is still slightly undervalued. The acquire multiple is 15, is not that bad. Could be better. And if we have a look to the fundamental, the Altman score is 5.3 and the safe zone is 3. So, and the Piotrowski score is neutral. So the cash flow is positive, and the beta is 1.3. So is my opinion, this is a really interesting stock to buy. The DCF upside is 35%. The consensus price target is 6%. I believe they will rise it because the consensus upside can change. Another interesting stock that I will sell today is Robinhood. Robinhood, but I don't have it in this list. Here we are. Robinhood is extremely overvalued, but the consensus price upside is 44%. So these usually I buy just undervalued stocks, and the Altman score is in a distress zone. The Piotrowski score is neutral. But if we check the distance from the 52 weeks high is 40%. The price is still below the 200 SMA, and in the 9th of October was like 152. Currently the price is 84. So I believe that if the Bitcoin will rise, as well Robinhood will rise. So even if it's overvalued, I will still put it in my personal watch list. The third stock is Supermicro. Supermicro is hugely undervalued. The distance from the 52 weeks high is 54%. The consensus upside for now is 60%. And Supermicro had like a few issues recently with the tariffs, because they claim it was selling chips and to China, and avoiding like tariffs. So the Piotrowski score is weak for this company, and the Altman score is in the gray zone. Supermicro doesn't have a positive free cash flow, so, and the acquired multiple is quite high. So is undervalued, but there is a reason why it's undervalued. So if we have a look to the chart, the price is still below the 200 SMA. And I think that in this point, like the 23rd of March, it reached its bottom. So for in the future, I will keep buying this stock, but in I think like 10 days, it will have earnings. So I prefer to sell it today, even because I bought it like a few weeks ago, and now it's up 24%. So it's another stock that I will buy again in the future. But I prefer to sell it today. If we have a look at the upcoming earnings, like I mentioned before, Robinhood, the 28th of April, so next week, together with Apple, 30th of April, Qualcomm, 29. So this is basically in a week, in the next 7 days. Walt Disney, Supermicro, Marathon Digital, McDonald's, Novo Nordisk, Shopify, Palantir. There are a lot of interesting stocks. So today, Intel rose something like 30%. My app doesn't have the data, but Intel rose 30% today, and is extremely overvalued, so I will not touch it. Like Tesla had earnings today, and Boeing went in the overvalued area as well. This is weather for international. Used to be an extremely undervalued stock, but now is fairly valued. And United Health since earning is up 9%. Netflix since earning is down 10%. And Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, they are like stable. Today, ASML rose a bit. And ASML, if we have a look, yeah, is still massively overvalued, but today rose like 3.4%, and the consensus price target is is close to his highest high. So is I'm trading with mean reversion. So mean reversion is my trading strategy. So I will not touch the stock. It's an interesting stock, but I'm not really comfortable to buy it. If you have a look to other recent earnings, Bank of America, ASML, JP Morgan is down 2%. Goldman Sachs, Johnson & Johnson are like stable, so nothing interesting. Netflix, if it will lose again few percentage point. If we have a look at my app, Netflix, which show Netflix is still overvalued, but the distance from the 52-week high is like 29%. The consensus upside is 26%. So if we have a look to the Netflix chart, the price now is still below the 200 SMA. So I believe it could lose again in the next week. So this is another stock that is in my radar. If we have a look to the news, selected news of today, so the major central bank meeting due to as Middle East conflict continues. So this evening they may find an agreement, a negotiation to quit this war. So we will see next week if they find like an agreement or not. And the unemployment rate is low. The stock market is high. So the SP 500 is like at his basically highest high. And major company are laying off thousands, like Meta, Oracle, everyone is laying off, all the big techs, due to the AI investments. So the market is rising, but in the future, the AI will cause, I believe, plenty of unemployment issues, and even with the war, there could be like an energetic crisis across the world. So we keep the situation monitored. So the DOJ drops criminal probe against the Fed Chair Powell. The Department of Justice on Friday dropped its criminal investigation of Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. removing a major hurdle to the Senate, confirming President Donald Trump nomination, having wars to replace him. So this is a positive news. And the SP 500, like I mentioned a few times in this video, is up 0.65% today. And if you have a look at this, is the 1 hour chart, is basically is touching the top Bollinger Band, is way above the 200 SMA, and as well the RSI is close to the overbought area. So yeah, according to my strategy, like a mean reversion strategy, yeah, everything is like really overvalued today. If the war end, I believe all the tech stock and everything will rise until like this summer, late this summer, but we will see what happens. If we have a look finally to the ETF flow, today is there were 100 buys, 15 net sells. This page is the daily transparent ETF activities across the tracked fund set, like the belt that is BlackRock and the ARK fund. So if we have a look at what happened today, so belt sold Microsoft, and but three funds was buying Microsoft, and then other buys are regarding Broadcom, Nvidia, that is basically really high, Applied Material once again, and Meta, Carrier Global, Eli Lilly, RTX, General Electric, and Apple. So this is what most of funds put on the top stocks. And for today's video, that's it. We will see next week what happened. Hopefully next week will be like an extremely bold week. I have like a huge expectation, but we will see what happens.